Alright, so this here is a little guy. This freaking thing. Come on, bitrate, let's go. I don't trust these programs. Jesus Christ. Anyway, you like gotta give it fucking 10 minutes to even freaking start. Like when I click the start button, that means go, right? But it doesn't. I don't know that it's sending the signal, and it's being retarded. So this is a cabinet that I built a long time ago out of scrap sheet that I had available. So I was limited on size, just because the amount of sheet that I had. It is, I don't even know how big it is. I think it's almost 2 foot. So it's almost a 24 by 24 by the same size. But I had limited material when I built this. It's obviously got a real quickly thrown together seam here, 22. All right, 22 by 20. And I just used what I had available to me and kind of like threw it together. The grating that goes in it is actually from it's really thick. It's from an old charbroiler. And it works great because it fits right in there. And then I can put super heavy parts on it. I can fit, obviously if it's 20, I could comfortably fit a 19-inch wheel. It'd just be a little hard to get to the edges in here. And that's kind of, this is what I've used a lot. So I'm just going to go in here since it has been sitting outside and clean up the scale that it's accumulated and get it ready to load up with new media. I don't want any of this real thick scale in here because it'll actually get in my gun and it'll clog my gun and I'll have other issues that will drive me absolutely insane. So once I get that scraped out, I have, for this one, I have walnut shell. I think I have glass bead still. I have black oxide. I have regular sand. I have just about every media that you can put through this thing other than like a steel shot. I just haven't really ever had a need for steel shot. I think it would be nice. Sometimes I will mix multiple medias. If I have something that can be somewhat stubborn, but not all the time stubborn, like if I want a nice finish, but I'll have those few little chunks of rust I want to knock off, I may go with like a glass bead with a little bit of black oxide just to sever that off. So I gotta unplug this and dump this crap out of here. But for costing me nothing because it was all scrap material, I can't complain. This is probably, what is it? This is like the third or fourth cabinet I've built. Most of them were bigger than this. I think the largest one I had was roughly a 4 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot tall cabinet. And I used the crap out of that one because I could get really large parts in there. So I'll flip it this way, dump all this scale out, and then probably go ahead and load the grading. A little bit of, I have new gloves I want to put on this. So I never went and paid for gloves, which I found some the other day for pretty cheap. So now I can actually have a sleeve that I don't have to worry about sand coming out of when I was using basically sleeves off of a high thread count shirt. That's what I used. And then I'd put like rubber gloves in, or I wouldn't use gloves at all. Just don't really care. It only stings a little bit. Whatever it takes to get the job done. So, just got a little left here. But it works really well. Like I said, I can't complain. I didn't have to go spend a couple $100 on a cabinet. Is it 100% leak proof? Hell no. I never cared. I just needed to use it in a hurry. Just whatever. It's a freaking cabinet. There was no looks competition when I built it. It was built for a purpose, and it has more than paid for itself. So I'll take these, and I'm going to kind of just clap them together with the microphone off. Yeah, these I got lucky enough that someone had, like I said, a charbroiler that burned up. The bottom grate kind of went to crap, and it wasn't worth fixing as far as they were concerned. So I was like, sweet, man, like cast steel freaking grating for in here. I can put really heavy stuff in here. That'll work out freaking wonderful. So I did have a mesh in here. It really doesn't take, you don't have to have anything crazy. I just got lucky enough that this was what I have available to me. Honestly, if I trimmed one of these, I only got to take one rib off and it'd be, but I leave it open just because sometimes I need to get my hand down and pick stuff up. So I'm going to take that off. I got 2 rings on here where I put my hands, and I basically made this the height that I can sit on a stool comfortably and blast away. And it's really therapeutic. It's it is kind of a form of instant gratification. So because it just happens so fast. It's nice. It's like painting a white wall with like red paint. Each stroke shows, as long as you have the right media in it. It's a lot of fun. It's probably right up there with painting when you're done all the sanding. Sanding's the worst part, but actually painting is a lot more fun. So it has a like metal halide, or not a metal, what do they call that? It's just one of them stupid floodlight things, like them stupid construction lights, but it's got glass on it so you can't shatter the bulb because the bulb tends to get broken fairly easy, and you shouldn't. All these lights like this, what is it? Is it halon? I think it's a halon bulb. They come in a little glass tube like this with two white porcelain ends. You never want to move them when they're hot because it breaks the filament. Same goes for just about every other bulb. So the cabinet's really light though. I mean, it's only like 16 gauge. I got some ghetto tape issues because I just don't care. And I did put a rubber gasket here just so I wouldn't cut my wrist. I think. I don't know if I did it on both sides. But yeah, it works really well. And the rubber gasket to go around is honestly just a piece of tubing, like rubber tubing, that I slice down the edge of it and then put on the inside edge of this instead of having a bare arm resting on a sharp piece of metal or a very small edge. So the first sleeves I put on this were ones I took from fabric. It was fairly thick, and I just sewed together sleeves and placed them in there. I need my ratchet because I need to take, actually it's over here. I need to take these screws off, and here are the gloves that I'm going to be putting in. They were like 20 something bucks. And I was like, because I was staring at a cabinet and I was like, oh, it'd be nice, but I'm like, it's not as big as mine, and I'm not spending $100+ on a freaking cabinet. So I was like, screw it, man. Like, these things reach far enough in for what I need, and I think they'll do just fine. Do exactly what I need, and I won't be losing, because they're slightly rubberized, I won't be losing any media out the sleeve like I did with the sleeves that I had in it. So they smell like old people or mothballs, kind of, but it's whatever. So let me move this. And we'll go ahead and work on putting those in. Might turn it around. I need to fix a few issues with it because, like I said, I threw it together fairly quickly. I think I built and painted the whole thing in just a couple hours. It was just real fast MIG weld. I didn't try and make the panels level. I didn't really give a crap. I just wanted a cabinet because I had a bunch of stuff I needed to blast in a short period of time. So get the 5/16 socket in here, and actually I should have one that I can put on the drill, which would be nice. Would be nice. And the battery will probably die. And we'll go get a new battery. We gotta move that fender out of the way. So I could sit here for hours doing this. Honestly, it is a lot of fun. It is kind of like when you paint a new room or something like that. Yep, I knew it. New battery. I could feel it when I first squeezed the trigger. Is this one any good? A little better. It's just time for new things. So. And I do need to make a better way to put this glass in here. I'm going to be putting a little seal. So these rings, I forget where I got these rings from, but they actually somehow just worked out perfect for the holes that I made. Sometimes you get lucky on little stupid stuff like that. I get lucky. Go to my favorite screwdriver. I'm going to move this fender out of the way because I want to kind of put this where it's going to sit for the time being. That way I don't have to keep moving it around. These are going to go here, or it's going to go on the end near the door. I haven't decided yet. I kind of want it here because I want to kind of dust and everything. Kind of wish I still had my blower that I made for when I was doing wood shop stuff, because that would work perfect as dust collection on this thing. I guess technically I could make a water bath, but I'm not going to get any ghetto stuff or weird stuff like that. Ghetto as in rigged just 'cause. It's kind of like people and their wood screws in their vehicles. I think some people can relate to that. I cringe every time I see a wood screw on a vehicle. Kind of part of me gets slightly angered, I think, because they don't belong on metal. Wood screws are for wood. Drywall screws are for drywall. They are not automotive fasteners. So keep that in mind. I don't even like seeing sheet metal screws used on cars. I don't think I can see any reason why you would need to use any type of self-tapping screw on a vehicle. I think if you're using a self-tapping screw on a vehicle, you're probably doing it wrong. I'm trying to think of one instance that it would be okay. Nope. Definitely not. Not even when they do those body kits, right? Those extended fenders that people want to do on their cars, and they're like, oh yeah, you take self-tappers, and you take our fiberglass body kit, and you screw it to your freaking existing skins. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. To me, that's not a well put together kit if I have to do that. I don't even know why people do things like that. Alright, welder, you gotta go away. You gotta come this way, buddy. I'm gonna move you down. Down and sideways. I need to find my pack of these straps, because these things come in handy. Just like little Velcro strap things. Alright. Let's undo this. I was in a rush when I built this. Where is my razor blade? So we're going to be redoing this. It works. Also, sometimes you break the glass. What did I end up using? Yeah, first time I had it, I used regular glass. Then I went to plexi. The problem with plexi is it gets hazy very quick. But it works. I think I might have a larger piece of brand new plexi that I can put in here. It's a fairly large window. It's probably bigger than actually what I need, but there's no good way to get this tape off. This blue tape is crap, man. Where is the wide chisel? Right here. So I'm just going to take all this stuff off. And then we're going to look at putting a new, possibly a new window in it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I have a piece that is brand new that I can use. And then put my gloves in it. This is going to make all my little parts that are super rusty and high detail so much faster to clean up, because it'll be like a matter of minutes instead of hours. It definitely speeds the process up. You could sit here for days with a wire brush trying to clean something, and to clean it to where I want it clean, because I won't coat something unless the rust is completely gone. I'm not trying to cover up nastiness to rot from the inside out. Because it will. Even with like powder coating, like sometimes it's nice to do like a phosphoric bath to get the surface prepared before you do powder coating. Just ensures that it doesn't start rusting underneath the powder coat. Rust is kind of like cancer. It only takes one little piece and then it spreads. Basically, is car cancer. Even if you have old tools. that have rust embedded in the abrasive and go to hit something that's clean, you can embed some of that rust particle into that sheet and it will take over eventually. Alright, so but he said it was fine. Where's the razor blade? It took me so long to get started today because I unplugged my camera from in the house and then I lost it. So then I spent the next hour looking for my camera. That was fun. I honestly, seriously thought I lost my mind because I couldn't remember where the hell I even carried it to. All I remembered was unplugging it. I wasn't awake. I think that's why. I spent an hour looking for the camera just so I could get started. I guess it allowed it to warm up outside. I waited. It's kind of funny. Funny and frustrating, all in the same. But here is a little better. A little bit of stuff that kind of, so this has a hole in the bottom so I can drain the media out whenever I do a swap over. A few chunks in here I don't want breaking free. As I use this cabinet, it'll start looking brand new inside again. It should be nice. I think it's been years since I've used this. Like, and it actually didn't rust out too bad considering I kind of just left it for dead. Just like, yeah, whatever. I don't need it. Alright. Let's see how scratched up, or is this just dusty? Honestly, I really don't feel like getting a new window today. I'd kind of be okay just popping this in. I can see through this. Not really worried about it. Just take all the old tape off and get this puppy back in there with a new blade. That blade's crap. Well, it definitely doesn't like the sunlight. So I'm not a big fan of this blue tape. So this tape is not going to be paper stuff. This is going to be this new exterior plastic stuff. Since it's indoors, sunlight won't be hitting it. If it was outdoors, I wouldn't trust that plastic stuff not to fall apart over time. And honestly, it's probably meant to be removed in a few days. So I'll give this a quick, quick spray and wipe off, just because I want to get some of the crud off of it. So I can see through it. I just need to be able to tell the difference between rust and silver. Just pretty easy. It's actually not too bad. Not as bad as I thought it was. It's going to have a slight haze to it because of all the particulate bouncing off of it, but it's enough I can see. And we'll just stick it in there, and I'll be able to do what I need to do. I gotta let it dry though, because I got water on it now. So I'm going to kind of just put like a ½ inch worth outside of this metal ring that I have here, and that should do what I need it to do. Then I'm going to run my screws back through it, and I'm just trying to keep the top seam on the top because I don't want to get it twisted and not be able to have. There we go. There's like a little seam that tells you where like the top of the glove is. It's kind of like a little crease. So I think, because I know this looks like it has a nylon reinforcement in it, and I don't want it to grab the threads of the screw and start winding it up thread. So I need to get an awl and a torch, and I'm just gonna poke a little hole. Poke a little hole through it, or melt a little hole. Have a lot less chance of twisting the fabric up in the threads of